Okay. Hi, Sunanda. How are you doing?
Hi, Jayan. Doing good. How about
Great.
you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. So, we're doing a coaching demo conversation here. Uh,
Hmm.
while it is a demo conversation, we are obviously dealing with something which is real and important to you.
Right.
So what is that you would like to explore?
Um, you know, I okay. So I've been thinking about this for a bit. Um, that I work in a certain space in my area of expertise,
Hmm.
and it's generally with the corporate clients,
Mm-hmm.
but individual corporate clients, right? And I wanted to this is something that I've been thinking of for a while, even, when I was in a full-time job, which I'm not right now because I'm just in the consulting space as an independent consultant, is that I want to work with people who need this intervention at a stage in their life when they are just kind of, maybe starting out,
Okay.
um, rather than uh, rather than when they have reached a certain hierarchy in the organization.
Okay.
Because I feel that if you intervene at that level, one is that you are equipping them and helping them think through these various transitions that are happening in their lives as they move from, let's say, an individual contributor to a team leader and so on and so forth.
Okay.
And then maybe set a precedent for them going forward and being able to manage teams, manage their people and relationships more effectively. Because from my own experience and what I sense from my clients is that, while some of the organizations do invest in them, but that investment happens only in once they reach a certain level within the organization. But in the initial stages, when they are moving from an individual contributor to a team leader or first level of managerial role, they're virtually left to find their own way.
Okay. So,
And
okay.
yeah,
So I hear you would like to explore this. What exactly would
yes.
you like to take away by end of this conversation?
What I would like to maybe get clarity on is, I think one is to what that would require from me
Hmm.
to be able to do that, and also maybe think through as to how do I approach this.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is you would like to have a clarity around what can you do about that, is it?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Hmm.
So essentially, one is that what can I do and how do I go about it, of course. And secondly, that, um, is this something that I can maybe take on and do?
Okay. So you're asking what and how
Yeah,
and is this the one?
yeah.
So which is the first question to deal with?
Um, I think is this the one might be the easier bit because, as I said, this is something that I have been thinking of for many years. And in my avatar in my previous organization, I was working with youngsters a lot
Hmm.
in trying to work with them in building their life skills
Okay.
and also set them on the path to success
Okay.
in their careers.
So if I say, is this the one, what's your response?
Um, I think my heart tells me it is
Okay.
because I definitely see the need.
Hmm.
Um, I think my doubt is that is this something that just I feel the need for, or is there really a need in the
Okay.
market for this?
And what's your response to that question?
Hmm. From my experience, as I deal with the senior and mid-level managers,
Hmm.
I do feel that there is a need because they influence a lot of people, right?
Mhm.
And so it's not just about them. I think it's the fact that, if you build these skills
Hmm.
early on in your career,
Hmm.
uh, not only it will help you become a better people manager, I think it
Hmm.
will help you become a better leader. And as you move up the ladder,
Hmm.
it will also maybe help you, hone in and focus in more on the leadership skills. And all of this is, of course, also going to help in, their other interpersonal relationships.
So it seems you have sufficient evidence to say, number one, this is the one, and number two, there's a market for it. Did I hear you correctly?
Yeah, that's based on whatever my practice is actually.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Okay. So is that still a question in your mind whether you want to work ahead on that, or where are you on?
And yeah, so based on my practice, yes, but I then question myself and say that, this is a limited, uh, you know, this is a very small sample size.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And
So
so
that's
am I, yeah,
creating the doubt, is it?
yeah, yeah. So that's the only thing that kind of creates the doubt, because then I need to find, once I have some bit of certainty around this, or at least some bit of feedback that yes, this is a need, then I think it makes sense to work on it. And
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
So number one, there is an experience that you already have.
Hmm.
Number two, what I'm hearing is whether it's a small segment, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And third is the feedback. What is the feedback you have got from your experience so far?
Um, that there is definitely a need,
Okay.
um, and people seldom at that level actually invest in themselves when it comes to this area.
Hmm.
It's left to the organization to, bring this up for them.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just that then what happens is that they are actually finding their way on the job.
Hmm.
If they have great role models, then they are and good supervisors, then they are able to really uh, chart their paths very easily. But otherwise, it's trial error. There's some stress also because of that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So knowing what you know, what are you willing to experiment?
Yeah, as I kind of reflect on this, and while I'm kind of voicing it, I think um, there's definitely a need, right? Um, my the the concern that I have is that, as I just said, that if people as individuals are willing to invest in themselves and
Okay.
are self-aware to do this.
Okay. So I understand this is a concern for you.
Hmm.
What will help you resolve this concern? So what I'm also understanding is because you have these conversations in your mind, you're not taking action.
Yeah, I think I maybe need to, one is chat up with some people um, in the corporate world and understand what's the need.
Okay.
And
What else?
that comes as a thought. And then the question is, if there is a need, and if I want to do this on an individual basis,
Hmm.
how do I go about it? How do I find these people
Huh.
and
So,
convince them, right?
hmm. So now we are moving towards how, but are you sure that this is what you want to really look at?
Um,
Okay.
Can you kind of reframe that question, because I don't think I get what you are really.
Okay. So let's see what do you remember from the conversation right now?
All right. So I think I definitely feel that there is a need.
Okay.
All right. I just need some data points or some outside, you know, uh, some outside entity to kind of, um, validate this. And so there, the fact that there is a need, first of all, and then maybe also explore as to if there is a need, how do I go about it?
Okay.
So how do I find the market? How do I reach out to that market?
Okay.
And how do I then eventually kind of price it?
So that's a lot of how, right?
Yeah,
How.
yeah.
So when we started this conversation, you said, I want to know, is this the one? And then what is that I need to do? And then how do I need to do? Right? So it
Yep.
seems like the first two questions about is it the one and what you want to do, I see some clarity. Do you see some clarity?
Yes, I do.
You see.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Awesome. Now we are basically talking about the how of this whole thing.
yeah.
So if you have to keep this a bit aside for a minute, Sananda, and reflect on some of the circumstances in your life when you have dealt with high amount of uncertainty.
Okay.
And if you have to, if I invite you to look at those circumstances, instances, initiatives, projects, whatever it is, where the amount of uncertainty was similar or maybe higher, what do you think you can learn from those circumstances about you? How do you deal with uncertainty?
Um, I think I'm a strange mix of person. I find that, I kind of enjoy uncertainty, but I also like some structure.
Okay.
Right. And in the past, whenever that has happened, I think I have been in a happy situation where I have had a mix of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
And so I think what the structure did for me, in all honesty, Jaya, is that it in some ways narrowed down the scope. So it didn't allow me to run wild with my thoughts and imagination. So, and also then it kind of, I think, willy-nilly forced me to, put aside some of that chatter because, as I said, because I was working in a structure, I knew that there was, what were the constraints, right, within which I needed to operate.
Okay. So it scoped it out for you, basically.
Yeah. So then I had to use what was available to me and try and, work or design something within that.
Okay.
And then, maybe if it needed something more by way of resources or help, and then, once you have done that, then you, speak to the relevant people, powers that be.
Interesting. What is emerging for you in context of your goals?
That being an independent consultant, that structure is not really there because it's a whole white canvas, right? And I just I don't know how to do this. I mean, I don't know what will help me here because
Okay.
I don't know what will bring that some kind. I don't want to kind of put blinders, yet at the same time, the canvas is too vast.
Okay.
Right.
So sometime back I heard it's a small market, very niche.
I no. So that small and niche was based on my own practice, right? If I'm targeting that level of that segment of the professionals, then I think the market is huge. The question is, of course, various things that what's within that market, what's the segment, and what's the target then, and eventually it will lead to things like pitching and pricing maybe.
Okay. So Sananda, let's if you have some pen and paper, can we do some?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, sure.
So how about writing down whatever is available in this context? Whatever is not there is not there. We know there's a lot of uncertainty, but there is something available. So what is that?
Okay, so let me just start with, I think first is that I have some idea.
Okay, great.
I also have maybe a little bit, a tiny bit of direction.
Okay. What else?
What else? The belief that that I can work with this
wonderful
set of people and help them, work with them, partner with them in realizing their potential, and maybe hopefully equipping them to deal with whatever the future holds for them in their professional lives. Yeah.
What else do you have?
I have some bit of network, I guess.
Awesome. Let's write it down. What else do you have?
What else in terms of resources?
Anything that can be relevant here.
Okay. So when I say network, actually, I think this network is more in terms of maybe, not that I think about it, tapping into to find out if the need that I perceive is also perceived by others.
Okay. What else do you have?
I think maybe I have the I think the opportunity is there, but I don't know if I have the wherewithal to just go out there and do it. So
so sorry, can you repeat that? What do you mean?
Yeah, so I said that I could use the opportunity and just go ahead and do it. But again, as I said, that the scope of it really kind of, it just takes over mentally.
Mentally, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So when it is a blank field and the scope is too wide, how about creating a scope that's workable for you?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. And if you have to look at, let's say, rest of this year, 2021 till December, what scope would you like to customize for yourself? We don't have to cover the whole field, right?
Yeah.
As a freelancer, that's the power you get.
Yeah, that's true.
So let's say you're sitting in December and you and I are having a coffee in your house, what are you telling me?
That I have a plan in place.
Okay.
Okay. That I have started working that, not just being a plan, but also in some ways, hopefully implementing it.
Okay.
And maybe some initial feedback, data point, which kind of tells me that, you know, if this is, you know, how to really push this further.
Okay. So let's say in December, you invited me to say, Jaya, I have something to celebrate about this. And you have started sharing with me about the celebration, the achievement that you really, really feel proud about. What is that achievement?
I think for me, it would be an achievement if I'm even able to put it on paper first and then actually put it out there. Yeah, into the universe without maybe whether I have a client or not. But I think just that action, because I've been just mulling over this for a while now, and I definitely think, and I'm looking at this actually, you know, not from the as a market, not from necessarily the monetary point of view, but from also some bit of experiential bit, the fact that having gone through that, you know, route myself, and then I felt that, you know, I could have done with some bit of guidance, you know, or somebody to talk to. Awesome. And I have at various points have had that opportunity, as I said, because I was in a very structured environment and I had the opportunity to really discuss that. So I think, so it's something that has stayed with me for a while. Over the years, I have mulled at it about it in different ways.
Okay.
But as I said, I've just been lost about how to really go about it.
Okay. So
yeah, and also the fact, to be very honest, you know, just thinking about it sometimes feels like I'm just thinking and thinking, and the whole thing has been satisfied in the thinking only.
Awesome. So how about just writing down 3 steps that you can take this month? This month in the sense July.
July, right? Yeah. I think I can definitely ideate a bit more.
Okay. What does that mean?
In terms of actually putting down to pen to paper and just kind of, you know, writing about what is it that, what's the outcome of all this, right? Why I am, the why of this.
The why of it. And are you willing to do that now?
As in?
Right now?
I could try, yes.
Let's try.
Okay, sure.
Let's write down the why.
As to why I want to do it?
What's your question?
My question is this my need, or is this there is definitely, you know, the ones that I'm seeking out to work with feel this need?
Okay. So what's your response to that?
So I think, yeah, that's a good one, because I think I'm only just thinking about it. Is it my need, or is there a need out there?
Maybe a Venn diagram can help.
Yeah, sure. That's a good idea.
Whose need is it?
I think it's definitely in some ways mine, because it's emerging from a partly my own experience, and partly because I see people with so much potential, and I, feel that they could maybe benefit from this and become even better at who they are.
Okay.
But as I'm voicing this, Jaya, I'm also wondering that, is that again my perception, right? As to they might just be happy where they are.
So every research and every book starts from a hypothesis, right?
Right, yeah.
And then we go on experimenting to see how it works. So isn't it sounding like an hypothesis
Yeah.
based on some experience?
Hmm.
And then you create a prototype, you go and test it and say whether, and obviously it'll work for someone, it may not work for someone.
Right, yeah.
So what are you willing to do?
I think I definitely need to test it out for sure. And I'm okay with it if it just kind of, falls flat on its face also.
Okay.
Because I think I've been living in various forms, living with this in various forms for years now. And if I don't do it, I will not know it, right?
Okay. So I'm going back to my question around what are the 3 things you will do in this month, which is July?
I think I will definitely create some kind of an idea as to what it is that I am, what's this need that I am trying to fulfill. Seems like a very strong word, but I think what's this need that I'm trying to address?
Okay.
And even if that need is my perception, I think I need to put it out there, because maybe there is that one person who has it, right?
Okay.
And even if that one person...
One person out of what are you talking about?
Sorry?
One person out of what?
One person out of that target segment I'm looking at.
Yeah. So, okay. So is it realistic? Like, do you think there'll be only one person?
I hope not. I think there should be more. But I guess I'm in the habit of thinking like what worse could happen.
Okay. So I also want to draw your attention to notice yourself, right? I mean, how have you dealt with uncertainty in the past, and what is that you're not doing here in this context?
I think, okay, just let me take a moment to reflect on it.
Sure, take your time.
So, all right, what's worked for me in the past, as I said, that I was operating within a structure. The second thing, I think what worked for me was that there was some kind of an external pressure or a visible thing that, intangible thing that needed to be done. And right now I feel that, because it's my choice to make, right? To do or not to do. And especially over the last couple of years or so, there is a certain kind of, I think, mental lethargy that is kind of coming in.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
So I'm actually curious, Sunanda. You just said I have a choice whether to do or not. And then you're also calling it a goal. So I'm just wondering, is it a choice or a goal? It's like, it's okay if I don't do it? Or is it like, I really want to do it?
It's very mixed up, actually.
How would you like it to be? Since you have a choice to make now.
Yeah, I would just like it to be one way or the other. I think I've been sitting on the fence for far too long.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to take that call one way or the other, in terms of whether I will do it or, I mean, I have to decide. I think I've just reached that stage where this just keeps coming back to me. And I feel that I have to take that call of either I'm going to do this, so then I get serious about it. And
so how about
or otherwise I should just like, give it up and give it a rest and stop letting it haunt me.
Okay. How about taking the call right away?
No, I want to do it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I want to definitely take a stab at this, whether this works out or not.
Okay.
I'm hoping, obviously, that it will. But I think, knowing me, considering, I don't think it's just going to, by my saying go away, it will go away.
Okay. Okay. Sure. So what's the clarity you're gaining about the conversation we started?
One, that, that this matters to me. And it has mattered to me for a very long time in various forms and various shapes. But given what I have been doing over the last 7 odd years focused on it, I think it's best that I utilize it in that area. And that's one thing. The second thing that's clear to me now is that I have to take this plunge and do it. I'm done with sitting on the fence, because either which way, I need to get this monkey off my back in some ways, in terms of, otherwise it's just like, it's like that Bikram and Betal kind of a thing. The Betal is not leading me, actually.
Okay. Like the analogy. What does Betal needs from you?
To act on it.
And Betal asks for a story every time, no?
Yeah. So I need to, I think, tell myself what's the story that is pushing me forward.
So what's that story?
I think that story is that there are a lot of, that there are people out there who have huge amount of potential. And maybe they just need an avenue to just find that within themselves, as well as to become aware, at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what action would you see for yourself in this month, which is July?
July is to actually, just as I said, firm out what it is. I think make a more cohesive idea out of this that's workable.
So you need a month for that?
No. So that's one. The second thing that I think I need to do is to plan on how is it that I will, how will this be, put out there, in what format, how.
The shape and form of it.
Yeah, the shape and form of it.
Okay.
And hopefully have some conversations around this and find out, what is the structure and the format, form that it will work in and be viable.
Okay. Okay. So it sounds like a plan, right? 3 steps plan.
Yeah.
Okay. And, by end of July, if we are having the same conversation, what are you telling me?
What am I telling you? That I am mentally lazy.
After taking action, you're telling me that?
No. In terms of, okay, so if I don't do it, I thought you said.
No. Let's say July.
No.
July
okay,
end.
July end. Yeah. Hopefully, I will be telling you that, that Jaya, I have worked this through. Okay. I have a plan and some kind of a model in place, and that I am just ready to, kind of launch it.
Wonderful. I'm hearing a different kind of energy than what we started with.
Yes, definitely. I feel I definitely feel more energized, and as I said, it just really helped me in talking. I think in some ways when I'm sharing this with you and putting it out there, I'm also not just kind of, I think I'm saying it aloud, really, in a more definitive way. I've had these informal chats with people all the time, and then it's been like forgotten, or we moved on and we've never come back to it. But I think, and also in saying this to you, I think I'm also making in some ways a commitment to me and to you.
Interesting. Yeah. I'm going to hold you accountable.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because I think that, I guess if by the end of this month, I don't make any progress on this, then I have to just admit to myself that this is not something that it's not really something that I'm passionate about, or this whole thing coming from the heart is maybe just talk.
Yeah, there is a difference between a wish and a goal.
Yeah, no, I think I will have, what it requires for me to do this is, I think, I shouldn't say I think, I've been saying a lot of I think, is that I should be more demanding of myself and be harsher on myself.
Harsher
in the sense for not doing this and just sitting on it for years together.
You mean more accountable?
Yes, more accountable.
Yeah, be kind to yourself, but be accountable.
Yeah.
Awesome. Is it a good time to wrap up this conversation?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. I definitely feel more energized. I definitely feel more committed. And as I said, I now have put this deadline that if by the end of this month I don't make progress on this, then I have to tell myself that, this is it.
Yeah. Okay. So the 3 questions around, is this the one? What is that I need to do? How do I need to do? I'm hearing clarity.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. There's some bits, of course, which is still, which needs work, but I think that can't be done in a half an hour conversation. But I think, again, in terms of when I started out, in terms of being convinced about it, and just kind of, thinking in my mind and visualizing it, and then just being satisfied with that, I've definitely moved from that stage.
Okay, great. I'm happy to have another conversation if that supports you to move forward in this.
Thank you so much, Jaya. This has been really helpful.
Great. Thank you so much. I'll just stop the recording 1 second.
Okay. All